Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's most fascinating military figures. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore the life of Heinz Guderian, a man whose strategic genius would leave an indelible mark on the face of modern warfare. Born on June 17, 1888, in Kulm, West Prussia, Guderian's early life was shaped by the strict traditions of the German military and the tumultuous events of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. As we step into the world of Heinz Guderian's childhood, we find ourselves in the picturesque town of Kulm, nestled in the rolling hills of West Prussia. His father, Friedrich Guderian, was a career army officer who had served in the Franco-Prussian War, and his mother, Clara Guderian, was a homemaker dedicated to raising their 3 children. The Guderian family was deeply rooted in the German military tradition, with Heinz's grandfather having fought in the Austro-Prussian War. Heinz Guderian's early education took place at the local Volksschule in Kulm, where he developed a strong foundation in mathematics, languages, and history. In 1899, at the age of 11, Guderian began attending the Hauptkadettenanstalt in Groß-Lichterfelde, near Berlin. This prestigious military academy was renowned for its rigorous curriculum and emphasis on physical fitness, tactical training, and leadership development. During his time at the Cadet Institute, Guderian excelled academically and athletically, demonstrating a particular aptitude for horse riding and fencing. He also developed a strong interest in military history, often spending hours poring over accounts of famous battles and strategic campaigns. The influence of his father and other veteran officers can be seen in Guderian's early fascination with the art of war. In 1907, Guderian graduated from the Cadet Institute and was commissioned as a lieutenant in the German army. He was assigned to the 10th Hanoverian Jaeger Battalion, where he quickly proved himself to be a capable and dedicated young officer. The following year, Guderian attended the Kriegschule in Berlin, further honing his skills in tactics, strategy, and military leadership. As World War I loomed on the horizon, Guderian found himself serving as a communications officer in the German army. Although his role during the war was not directly involved with armored units, he observed their potential and began to formulate ideas about their strategic use. The experiences of the Great War would have a profound impact on Guderian's later development as a military strategist, shaping his thoughts on mobility, surprise, and the importance of adapting to new technologies. In 1913, Heinz married Margaret Guern, the daughter of a Prussian army officer, in a union that would bring him happiness and support throughout his life. The couple had 2 sons, Heinz Günther and Kurt, both of whom would follow in their father's footsteps by pursuing military careers. His experiences during World War I, combined with his education and family background, laid the foundation for his later successes and challenges as a pioneer of armored warfare. As the 1920s unfolded, Guderian found himself at the forefront of a revolution in military thought, as he began to conceptualize and advocate for the use of armored vehicles in modern warfare. His experiences during World War I had taught him the importance of mobility, surprise, and adapting to new technologies, and he saw the potential for tanks to transform the battlefield. In 1922, Guderian was appointed to the Inspectorate of Transport Troops, where he worked closely with other visionaries, such as Oberstleutnant Wilhelm Malbrand, to develop the concept of armored warfare. Guderian's seminal work, Achtung, Panzer, published in 1937, laid out his vision for a new kind of warfare, one that emphasized speed, maneuverability, and concentrated force. He argued that tanks should be used en masse, as independent units, rather than being dispersed among infantry formations. This radical idea would eventually become the hallmark of German armored doctrine, and its impact would be felt on battlefields across Europe. As the German army began to rearm and expand in the 1930s, Guderian played a key role in shaping the development of the panzer forces. He worked closely with other prominent military leaders, such as Generaloberst Werner von Fritsch and General Heinz Wilhelm Guderian's mentor, General Oswald Lutz, to create a new kind of armored unit, one that combined tanks, infantry, artillery, and engineers into a cohesive, mobile force. In 1938, Guderian was appointed as the Chief of Staff to the Inspectorate of Armored Troops, where he oversaw the training and development of Germany's rapidly expanding panzer forces. He emphasized the importance of combined arms teamwork, communications, and logistics, recognizing that armored warfare required a high degree of coordination and flexibility. As World War II loomed on the horizon, Guderian's expertise and influence became increasingly important. In 1939, he was appointed as the commander of the XIX Corps, which would play a pivotal role in the invasion of Poland. Guderian's corps consisted of 2 panzer divisions, an infantry division, and supporting units, and it was tasked with breaking through the Polish defenses and advancing deep into enemy territory. The success of Guderian's XIX Corps in Poland set the stage for his even greater triumphs in 1940 as he led his forces to victory in France. The blitzkrieg tactics that Guderian had helped develop, rapid advances, surprise attacks, and concentrated force, proved devastatingly effective against the French and British armies. As the German panzer forces swept across Western Europe, Guderian's reputation as a brilliant and innovative commander spread far and wide. However, Guderian's relationship with Adolf Hitler was complex and often contentious. While Hitler recognized Guderian's genius as a military strategist, he also grew increasingly suspicious of his independence and criticism of the Nazi regime. In 1941, Guderian was appointed as the Inspector General of Armored Troops, a position that gave him significant influence over German armored doctrine and development. Despite these challenges, Guderian remained committed to his vision of armored warfare, and his legacy continues to shape military thought and strategy to this day. As the German army launched its invasion of the Soviet Union in June 1941, Guderian's panzer forces played a crucial role in the initial advances. His 2nd Panzer Group, consisting of 2 Panzer Corps and supporting units, was tasked with advancing deep into Soviet territory, capturing key cities and infrastructure, and ultimately linking up with other German forces to encircle and defeat the Soviet army. However, as the campaign wore on, Guderian's forces faced increasingly stiff resistance, and the harsh Russian winter began to take its toll. In November 1941, Guderian's 2nd Panzer Group was tasked with capturing the city of Moscow, a key strategic objective for the German army. However, the Soviet defenses were formidable, and Guderian's forces were ultimately unable to break through. The failure to capture Moscow marked a significant turning point in the war on the Eastern Front, as the Soviet Union began to regain its footing and launch counterattacks against the German army. As the war turned against Germany, Guderian found himself increasingly at odds with Adolf Hitler, who was growing more and more erratic in his decision-making. In 1943, Guderian was appointed as the Inspector General of Armored Troops, a position that gave him significant influence over German armored doctrine and development. However, he soon found himself clashing with Hitler over issues such as tank production, tactical doctrine, and the overall strategy for the war. In 1944, Guderian was dismissed by Hitler, ostensibly due to his criticism of the Nazi regime and his perceived lack of loyalty. However, it's clear that Guderian's dismissal was also motivated by Hitler's growing paranoia and distrust of his senior military commanders. After his dismissal, Guderian went into retirement, where he would remain until the end of the war. In the post-war period, Guderian would go on to write extensively about his experiences during World War II, including his memoirs, Panzerleader, which remains one of the most insightful and detailed accounts of the war from a German perspective. In his writings, Guderian reflected on the nature of war and leadership, emphasizing the importance of strategic vision, adaptability, and courage in the face of uncertainty. As we look back on Heinz Guderian's remarkable life and career, it's clear that he was a true pioneer in the field of armored warfare. His development of the German panzer forces, his innovative tactics, and his unwavering commitment to his vision of modern warfare all left an indelible mark on the course of World War II. Today, Guderian's legacy continues to shape military thought and strategy around the world, a testament to the enduring power of his ideas and his unyielding dedication to his craft. It's a phrase that captures the essence of Guderian's approach to warfare, and one that continues to resonate with military leaders and strategists to this day. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.